with translating, so definitely make some noise for them, yo. Alright, so we're gonna keep it moving. Up next, this is one of my personal favorite speakers because I'm all about accountability and, you know, holding folk accountable at their own expense. So we're gonna bring up D from Blue Crime Blue Dime, y'all. D, where you at, D?
Sorry, y'all. Hold on.
You can do it! Make some noise for D, yo!
Hi, everyone. So, my name is Hidayah, and I'm the founder of Blue Crime Blue Dime. Thank you all for being here tonight. It has been absolutely heart-wrenching how close this election has been. How so few people actually care about others. So thank you for finding the strength to come out and get up and continue to show up. You are the ones that will make change in this community. Being here right now means that you have reached a level of compassion that will change the foundation of our society. I gotta tell y'all, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired of being so matter-of-fact about my reality as a black woman in America. Keep smiling. If you don't, they'll turn on you and say you're too intimidating. Don't get out of the car. Just order your food from the car and then run in and grab it. Don't travel there. They still lynch black people. Don't protest on campus or they'll threaten to take away your financial aid. Don't ever try to speak up or defend yourself because they'll say you're angry and attacking them. Everyone runs to the black woman for protection. I have to protect everyone, but no one is ever there to protect me. And I'm tired, but I'm still standing here right now. This idea to start Blue Crime Blue Dime back in June. I was at a march. While I was marching, I was thinking about Obama and how he said that policy and protest must work in cohesion. I thought, I want to be realistic, but I still really want to be radical. What is something that I can do that will make a radical change, but it's still something that I can see done in my lifetime? In short, how can I solve this problem without solving the larger problem of capitalism and fascism in America? The idea was so obvious that I stopped in my tracks. I left that march, I went home and started researching. Then I started calling lawyers, professors, and mentors. I realized that day that we are being robbed, not just of our livelihoods, our rights, and our lives, but also millions of dollars. Boston, we are getting full-on fucking mugged. The Boston Police Department has paid $36 million for 2,000 cases against them within 10 years. But it's our money. When they say that the city has paid out a settlement to someone that the police have hurt, it's our money. The city didn't pay shit, we paid it. They murder and brutalize us. And then instead of being held accountable, they just pay up in settlements, but it's our money. Brianna's family got paid $12 million from the city of Louisiana, except the city means us. It's us, we pay. We also pay for the offending cops' legal fees, even if they're found guilty. All our money is being wasted on problematic officers who should have never been given a badge in the first place. So on Juneteenth, I decided that in our capitalist society, money was the best leverage we had. Police couldn't stop murdering and beating us even with the whole world watching this summer. So what else could make them behave with some restraint? Money. This is where Blue Crime Blue Dime comes in. Our solution is to prohibit monetary compensation for all police misconduct to be paid for with our tax dollars. By ordering, we want to order every single police precinct in the state of Massachusetts to have their own private liability insurance. We're done asking cops to change their ways, but I'm sure their ways will change once their actions start affecting their own pockets. Police being held accountable is one less hurdle for our descendants to jump in the future. One more barrier between us and their hateful violence. We have come up with a creative way to solve this problem without actually solving the root of the problem. And we've taken that threat of capitalism and flipped it on them. While we're inside this winter, I challenge you to find ways to solve our systemic inequalities. Find ways to make radical change that can be accomplished in your lifetime. And most importantly, I want you to read up about the protests of the past. Look at what's already been done. The answers to the future are in the past. So strengthen your resolve. History is repeating itself because we don't know enough. We're not educated enough to continue this fight in the manner that we have been. So again, I want to encourage all of you to do the research as well. You may have noticed the older generation's less than exuberant interest in the current movement. I chalked it up to them being tired, hopeless, or just generally complacent. But the more I read, the more I realize we've already done this. We're going in circles. So again, I want to encourage all of you to do the research. We have done a great job coming together, building a community, and making a lot of noise this summer. But now we need to read up and do the research so that we can make a lot of change in the upcoming future. It's great to protest, but we need to protest with purpose. We need to find the loopholes that give us more freedom to protest the way that we want to. If you are interested in working with Blue Crime, Blue Dime, grab a sticker from someone or scan the board that's being held up back there. There's a membership form you can fill out on the link tree, and we would be happy to welcome you to our family. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak to y'all today.
Make some more noise for D, y'all. Make some more noise for D. It's not loud enough. Make some more noise. All right, so we got one more speaker, and then as a group, we all came together with a collective of demands, a wide array of demands that are hoping to fix the many fucking problems that exist in our world right now. But before we get into that, we've got Boston Socialist Alternative, y'all. Make some noise. Not loud enough. These folk have energy. Make some noise. A little bit louder. Make some noise.
Trump lies. Trump cheats. Build a movement. Hit the streets. Trump lies. Trump cheats. Build a movement. Hit the streets. Trump lies. Trump cheats. Build a movement. Hit the streets. Hello. No matter how many times I smashed that refresh button last night, I did not feel refreshed. I did not feel relieved. I felt enraged.
That's right!
For many of us, our worst fear has come true. Trump and every disgusting, unequal thing that he represents is still here. Tonight is November 4th. And there is no more November 3rd, 2020. There is no more. Just vote. Tonight, we take the gloves off. Trump is trying to steal the election, and that is why there is nothing left to wait for. There is nothing left to see. Now is the time to go all out to shut the system down and drive Trump out. For 4 long years, we saw carpet bombings of the Middle East and careless assassinations. We saw glaciers melt. We saw millions of acres burn with historic fury. We saw more black and brown bodies killed and suffocated at the hands of racist police. We saw the disgusting rise of the far right with the accompanying terrorism, mass shootings, and even Republican encouragement. We saw billionaires' wealth explode by 1 trillion, while many of us lost our jobs. And we saw COVID-19 shred and rip through our failed and for-profit healthcare system, killing more of us in 9 months than Americans killed in Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan, and World War I combined. And through this hell, many of us bravely held out hope. Hope that surely sometime soon, someone or something would make things better. Tens of millions of us have been rightfully terrified of another 4 years of Trump, and we were ready and willing to do whatever it took to get him out. But now is the time to go even further and remember where power really comes from. We practiced for this moment. Trump's government lockdown over the border wall in 2018 only came to a halt due to the heroic workplace actions by airport workers and the threat of a mass strike by the flight attendants. And I remember Trump's racist Muslim ban, and I remember it being repealed almost as fast as it was enacted when we occupied airports and completely halted business as usual. After the violence in Charlottesville, the far right launched a plan to hold over 60 rallies in dozens of states. But after 40,000 of us right here in our city, we came out and we counter-protested one of their rallies, and overwhelmingly, we shut them down across the country. Cowardice never defeated the far right, and now is no time for a wait-and-see attitude. The unified, powerful, and fighting spirit of working people, young people, and the oppressed was here all along, and we are our last hope. We are our only hope. This country is run by people like us, and we can shut it down. This country was built by people like us, and we can rebuild it. In the year 2000, the Republicans and their packed courts demanded to stop counting the votes in Florida. The Democrats did not mobilize or mount the opposition necessary, and Republicans successfully stole the election for George W. Bush. Now, Trump is going for an even more grotesque repeat. He already called this election for himself, and he's demanding that his new Supreme Court stops the counting. Some of us may be tempted to wait for the final result, but we cannot make the same mistake of 2000 again. We have to take this fight into our own hands. Many labor unions, like the AFL-CIO in Rochester, New York, or even just across the river, the Somerville Teachers Association, they have said we will take action. As a union member myself, I can't tell you how inspiring this is. This is exactly the type of organizing that's needed for us to do next. Students, are you ready for walkouts? Once we're organized, no more school until Trump is pushed out. And workers of every and all types, are you ready to bring business as usual to a grinding halt? Then once we're organized, no more work until Trump backs down. Now unions have talked about general strikes, but we're not prepared to have that yet. We haven't been prepared. And that is why we urgently need workplace, community, and campus meetings now to discuss and escalate our next steps. And this starts right now. Make sure you get a flyer from Socialist Alternative about our crucial public meeting this Sunday at 6 p.m. If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! But we should be honest for just 1 minute. We should be honest. It should not have been this close in the first place. We had a candidate that would have absolutely crushed Trump with a strong working class platform against messages of division and sexism and racism and Islamophobia. And his name was Bernie Sanders. But what did the Democrats provide as an answer to our hatred of Trump and his base and the Proud Boys and the billionaire class? They delivered down on us the most risky and uninspiring candidate imaginable to take on Trump, Joe Biden. In the middle of a country on fire, flooded, hungry, sick, and unemployed, Biden came out of the gate saying if he was elected, nothing would fundamentally change. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is why we need a mass movement. And with any mass movement we build, if it's capable of toppling Trump and his reactionary base and defending our democracy, then we cannot and we should not stop just there. We need to go all out to make sure our movement goes beyond what is acceptable for Trump or even Biden. And that means taking up the demands that speak to us, real working people. We need things like restoring emergency stimulus relief, forgiving rent, Medicare for all, and a socialist Green New Deal. Every vote must be counted. And this will not be a battle we fight in Trump's terrain of the courts and county offices. This is a battle we fight on our terrain. We will march right now on our streets. We will not wait 4 more years. We will not wait 2 more years. We will not wait 1 more goddamn minute to drive this bastard out. We will remind all of those who are comfortable, who have created wealth off of our broken backs, who have profited off of our sickness, who have killed our brothers and sisters or stood by as it was happening, and who threatened to steal our democracy. Everything stops if we say so. Now let's go shut our city down and show the world where real power comes from.
Y'all need to make some more noise for that, man. Mad energy. Check, check, check. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Alright, so before we march, y'all should know why we're marching and what we're marching for. Fair to say? Alright, so bear with me because this list is kinda long, but all of this shit is important. All of it. So, we demand a meeting with Governor Charles Baker, Mayor Marty Walsh, President of the Senate Karen E. Splicker, and Speaker of the House Robert A. DeLeo to discuss the following demands. We are pursuing the end of state violence. We demand the immediate abolition of all police departments in the greater Boston area and the rest of Massachusetts to be replaced with community-led public safety systems. We demand that the cases of Osama Rahim, Terrence Coleman, Bo Ramsey White, Dennis Yanoso, Santos LeBoy, and all victims of police brutality and murder in Massachusetts be reopened, and that all the officers involved be indicted, tried by an independent prosecutor, and prosecuted by the fullest extent of the law. We demand that all school resource officers are removed from schools and replaced with social workers and mental health counselors. This is one of my favorite. We demand the end of qualified immunity in the state of Massachusetts. This is also one of my favorites. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I like all of them. We demand the outlawing of tear gas and pepper spray access by all police departments in Massachusetts. We We demand that private liability insurance be implemented for every police precinct department in the state of Massachusetts that witness displays of racism and/or police brutality would increase premiums and mandatory bias training would be employed. Along with the implementation of the policy, we would demand that insurance companies be responsible for social media investigations with the result of increased private insurance premiums. We demand to end all additional prison restorations, constructions, and expansions in the state of Massachusetts. We demand the release of all prisoners in jail, prisons, and detention centers prosecuted by the state for nonviolent crimes by review processes that reevaluate sentence terms. We demand the decriminalization of mental health episodes, people with disabilities, homelessness, drug-related incidents, and any other nonviolent crimes formed by the conditions of our society. Instead, the allocation of funds towards programs that address these issues, such as mental health treatments, housing, first initiatives, equitable access to education, and much, much more. We are pursuing indigenous sovereignty. We demand the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to honor and respect the rights of indigenous peoples and respect their health and well-being of a sustainable future. We demand that Governor Baker and all state agencies within the Commonwealth commit to consistent and comprehensive tribal consultation. We demand a guarantee of commission seats for a tribal government and indigenous peoples of all state commissions involving environmental justice. We demand data equity, ensuring that data on American Native, Alaskan Native, indigenous people is equitably reported by all state agencies, especially concerning COVID-19 numbers. We demand knowledge of indigenous people in our STEM classrooms be taught and honored, as well as provided a curriculum which teaches scientific factors around white supremacy, colonization, and racism towards climate change. We are also pursuing economic justice. We demand that Massachusetts implements school-based funding to curb the educational inequality. We demand that the funds earned through the exploitation of enslaved Africans during slavery be redistributed to the descendants of enslaved Africans in the form of reparation for the state-sanctioned racial discrimination endured by their ancestors. We demand an immediate freeze and forgiveness on rent, mortgage, and utility under this pandemic in order to preserve people's rights to live in a safe and secure home. We demand free COVID-19 testing regardless of economic standing and insurance. We demand all unoccupied buildings be used to house the homeless and others who have been displaced during this pandemic. We demand hazard pay for all essential workers who are risking exposure to COVID-19 and should be compensated for such. We demand the immediate release of all people in jails, prisons, and detention centers with nonviolent offenses. We demand that PPE produced be prioritized towards healthcare workers and all workers on the front lines of this crazy pandemic. We demand a solid plan be presented to all workers with unions, provided them with livable wages to take care of their families and have secure access to what they need to live. We are pursuing environmental justice. We demand a stronger Green New Deal, which includes protections and restoration of the world's oceans, with updated timelines of 2025, and an adaptation of the Red Nations Red Deal, which calls for a solution to climate crisis at its core, a mass movement of the people, centering indigenous people and anti-capitalism in the fight for climate justice. We demand investment in lower-income neighborhoods, including green spaces, be provided and maintained, cleanup for all toxic waste sites, enclosure or at least filtration of factories that threaten the health and well-being of these neighborhoods. We demand the compressor station in Weymouth, Massachusetts be immediately shut down for the threat it poses to the South Shore communities. We demand for all immediate phasing out of all incinerators in places like Saugus, Millbury, North Andover, Haverhill, Pittsfield, and Springville by 2030, and an investment into zero waste initiatives statewide. We demand the state of Massachusetts reach net zero carbon emissions by 2025. We demand for immediate investment in coastal protection for communities and residents who will be affected by first rising sea levels. We demand a clear action and relocation plan for climate refugees in Massachusetts, specifically those of lower income and minority status. Pardon me. We demand environmental benefits like clean air, water, and green space be made available to all, regardless of race, nation of origin, or socio-economic status. We are pursuing immigration justice. We demand the immediate abolition of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, and the end of all criminalization that targets undocumented immigrants for incarceration, deportation, and separation from their communities, and more importantly, their families. We demand that all cities and towns of Massachusetts end all cooperation with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, and protect the rights and privacy of all undocumented people. We demand the passage of H. 3012, an act relative to work and family mobility, a bill that would give rightful access to driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants. We demand that all COVID-19 protections agreed upon by the U.S. federal government and Massachusetts government be extended to individuals regardless of documented status, such as stimulus checks, hazard pay, rent and mortgage forgiveness, and other protections. Only got a few more, y'all. Only got a few more. We demand that people be given access to lawful permanent residence regardless of whether they are likely to use Medicaid, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as food stamps, and other forms of public assistance. We are pursuing a cultivation of a higher standards of individual accountability. We demand that Massachusetts declares domestic violence a public health crisis to give the issue the legitimacy and attention it deserves. And finally, we demand that the Massachusetts legislature passes the Karen Act and Breonna's Law. All of these demands were brought together by all of the organizations that have spoke already and that will speak over at Copley. This is a bigger problem than just one organization and what we're focusing on. This is what we need to do on a consistent basis. So if you're in an organization right now, I need you to find another organization that you don't know or you never met. You need to link up and figure out how you can bring your causes together and battle the bigger beast. Alright, so we're going to get moving. Before we get moving, we need to do some housekeeping. So first, I need all of the marshals to raise their hands. The marshals have on vests, some don't have on vests. They're mostly on the perimeter. Those are the people that you will be listening to. If them or I don't tell you something and somebody else tells you something, don't listen to that person. Also, there's individuals that have green tape wrapped around their legs or their arms. Those are peacekeepers. In the case that we have problem with counter-protesters and or police, those will be the people that engage, as well as our police liaisons. We're going to all say this together. We will not engage with the police. Let's say this together. We will not engage with the police. We will not speak with the police. Any other ones? That was good. We say that because our goal, Freedom Fighter Coalition, and all the other orgs involved, our goal is to get you home in the same manner in which you came here. Make some noise if you want to go home in the same manner in which you came here. The only difference is, when you go home, I want you to be more inspired. I'm not going to lie, seeing all of you, hearing these speakers, it's brought me out of the dump. I'm not going to give you my personal business, but I wasn't even going to come here today. The system is doing everything it can to scare me and to scare people like me who are deciding to stand up and speak against bullshit. But when we all come together like this, guess what? People like me and people like them, we can't be touched. We cannot be touched.
Watch his back, he's under attack, you got his back! Watch his back, we under attack, you got his back! I got his back! You got his back! You got his back! We got his back!
One of the organizers ended his their speech with "The people united will never be defeated." I need everybody to really understand that. That shit was so powerful to me, I got it tattooed on my leg. Regardless of what situation we're in, there's always going to be strength in numbers. So when we hit these streets, we're not protesters, we're one big blended family, speaking out against the bullshit. Y'all want to make some noise for that? Alright, so we're gonna head out this way. Give us a minute to get sound and everything together. Introduce yourself to somebody that you don't know. And we got one more thing from Nate, and that's it. Peace.
Am I still on? Oh, do you got me? No, I'm good. Hello, everybody. Just a reminder, as Shimi just said, this is a peaceful protest. So, speaking to all the other white people here, speak it up, yeah. All the other white people here, do not engage with the police. If you're here to fuck shit up, you should go home right now. Because the people who are going to be most affected by your shitty decisions tonight are not you. It's the people of color who are here with us that we're here to uplift. So don't fuck this up, okay? Thank you.
We need the entire march behind here and in front of these cars. Please, respectfully, nobody go in front of the truck. It's not us trying to tell you what to do, it's a safety and a security reason. So please, everybody, stay behind the truck unless you're carrying a banner. Okay? Sounds good? Alright, we're gonna leave momentarily. Thank you all.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's a habit. You were coming this. I was like, oh my God, I missed them. We're gonna make sense.
Hold on. Stay right here until we start pulling out. When we pull out, we're gonna take the entire street. We need everybody to stay behind the banners, please. Stay behind the banners, stay behind the truck. Try to keep social distance. Everyone masked up, please. Banners are in front of the truck. Everybody else behind the truck. Banners behind, in front. Banners in front. People behind. If you have a sign, we need to see it.